one of the most important parts of the creation and created is connection link, as we talked last week, in how interaction of the fields, amalgamation of the fields, leads to creation. In the matter state of the man, creating fusion and hoping and releasing megawatts and gigawatts of energy, so much temperature of the center of the sun, shows the lack of understanding of the world of science of today. If you look at it, if you understand the world of fusion in the energy level, it's much, much simpler than creating fusion in the matter state. Ray of the light of the creator in its simplicity, in interacting with the division of itself, in the fusion of plasmas and energies, has led to creation of everything else. It is not that energy of the creator or magnetic field in motion, it was so powerful and now as it's dividing, it becomes matter. It's absolutely the opposite way. In releasing its fields in its environment and the interaction of these fields with each other and the amalgamation of the fields, fusion of the fields as an energy has led to creation of even the hydrogen, even the first neutron, that's what we call it, and the rest. What this brings to front, and for most of the knowledge seekers, is the understanding of the what I call fusion of fields, fusion of energies in motion, which leads to creation of the next level. And understanding how the energy of the plasma needs to be added in a specific way that it leads to creation of higher order magnetic field strength collection of fields. It has to be understood by the world of science that the neutron, which is the highest collection of the fields, is the maximum amount of energy in this universe which can be as one package. Today's teaching is for the world of science, even though as knowledge seekers you hear and hear me and understand part of it. But the teaching of today is for the future scientists, for those who come to explore the universe. It's not there, it cannot be understood, even maybe some of you understand, and the futures of the science of the space technology of the man will appreciate the teaching of today as a, what I call, the first brick on the knowledge, understanding of the working of the universe. What does this mean? If you look right across the whole structure of the science of the man, look at as a neutron, electron, a proton, an atom, molecules, and everything else which goes in it. Be it gold, be it hydrogen, be it plutonium, be it other elements which the man will discover in the future, which is not in the spectrum of the energies of the today of this planet, but on other positions, man will find elements with 500 neutrons and 10,000 electrons and the rest of it. But if you put all of them together, the heaviest elements man ever finds and the lightest element man will ever find cannot be more than the energy compacts of a neutron as a fundamental basis of what I call creation of matter. What does this mean? You look at let's say, helium. You have so many electrons, so many neutrons, and so many protons. Again, neutron is a fundamental at the highest level energy. The rest is the packages of the collection of the energy of the 2 or 3 or 10 neutrons and electrons and protons. So the fundamental element, the fundamental, what we call plasma, the maximum amount any element in this universe can carry is not more than what is in the neutron. So man of the science have to find the process of the creation in what is within the neutron. And if they don't understand this, we have the dilemmas of today. The cornerstone of the teaching from the first book, which has been laid down as the fundamental of the science of the Newman space technology, is neutron, collection of interaction of the fields. In a way, nothing can be bigger than, nothing can be more effective than a neutron. Because you put 20 neutrons together, 100 neutrons together, and then the space gap they create needs to accommodation of the protons that they can give a higher energy to a lower energy. Then in that transfer of the energy from neutron to proton allows for the electron to contain and maintain its motion and everything else. What does this mean? For the first time in the world of nuclear physics, for the first time in atomic physics, we have to understand where the energy of an atom comes from. A fundamental atom which contains an electron, a proton, and a neutron. The actual energy of atom comes from transfer of the energy from neutron, higher field content, to the proton. And what is left of this interaction, electron collects and allows it to create its motion. This is the fundamental engine of the operation of an atomic structure. And this is what the world of science up to today has not understood. Does not even exist in the vocabulary of the man, science, and technology of today. And when man understands this principle of the creation of the third energy in a way, in principle, by interaction of the fields of the two energy packs, then we understand how electron is created, how electron is maintained, and how electron can, in a way, move around its principal element. And when we have a system like a hydrogen, which is only in what we call neutron, proton, and electron, or we go back into the isotopes of it, the same principle applies. When you have a proton and an electron, we call it the basic hydrogen. The energy of the hydrogen comes from the center, from the proton. When we talk about deuterium, then this process is totally different, because now whatever released from neutron, which is absorbed by the proton, and the interaction of the two fields with each other is collected by the electron, which gives it the dimension of its motion. Then you understand even why we come to the heavier elements and we find more neutrons, because more energy is needed to maintain, to interact with the protons, to position the electrons in the what we call distance from the center. And this is what fundamentally the world of science have not understood. The principle behind the motion, distance, position of an electron in respect to its nucleus. And once man understands this, man will unravel the mystery of the creation. But for that, man needs to understand the inner structure of the neutron. which comes from the division, interaction, fraction and friction within it, and with interaction with its environment outside. If one day man extends the knowledge of looking at the structure, energy packs of a neutron, what man sees is what man sees on the surface of the sun. Bursting of energies, continuous motion of the fields, and there's no difference. When I look at a neutron, as a nuclear physicist, I don't see something which is just there. I see the surface of the sun. The same interactions, the same commotion of the motion of the fields, the same surface. And as we see, the way the energy of the sun is released in bursts and a continuous basis that interacts with the Earth and the rest of the solar system, this is what the neutron does within the center of a nucleus. And when you understand this, that the division and interaction of these fields emitted from the neutron will lead to creation of other structures outside it, then man comes to understand more about the world of creation. In the simple physics of today, they show us a proton and a neutron and an electron, and this is an atom. In fact, this is far from reality. If you look at the neutron as the sun, as the center of energy, and proton as the earth, and then you look at the electron as the moon, what do we see? Is our atmosphere clear? Is there nothing between earth and the sun and the earth and the moon? We see cosmic dust. We see meteorites. We see elements in the fields moving across the solar system, and it's the same within the structure of the atomic structure. And these fractions and these meteorites at the atomic level is exactly the same as what we have in the solar system. And it's the same with our solar system in respect to the other solar system and in respect to the center of galaxy and the center of universe. Our solar system, in interaction with another solar system, in their magnetic field and the strength, create the cosmic dust, create the creation of the fields and matter in between, that most of these are an energy pack. This is what we call viruses. And this is the whole discussion of today, which means these energy packs within the structure of the galaxies, the structure of solar systems, the structure of the atom is all the same. Once man understands the principle of creation of the fields packages, and then understand that these amalgamation, fusion of energy leads to the condition of a higher energy packs, which in turn man calls it from hydrogen to gold and plutonium, is the process of understanding of the creation. We didn't rain energy from outside to come in to create the matter. Within the energy within radiating out and attraction, we create the matter. This is why in the fundamental understanding of creation, we always said the creator is in the center. But on the other hand, we say is love reigns upon us. Once man understand the interaction of the fields within and outside leads to creation of two different conditions, one is higher than the other, which comes a plasma to the inner and not to the outer as a matter, then man understands the process of the creation of the true fusion from the interaction of the fields of the same within the center. The process of the creation, the process that from the creator to created. As I understand, and as explained as a nuclear physicist, as a plasma physicist, as a man who understands the process of the interaction of the fields of the smallest to the universe, to the unicosmos, it becomes important for what I call the scientists of today and tomorrow to walk away from fusion matter. if they in reality want to get to the energy fields of the universe. The energy within one neutron is more than all that is in all the nuclear fusions of the man and nuclear power stations of the man of today.